Hello, I'm Svitek, 360 Creative Coach, and in this episode, I want to talk about taking advantage of making a live event whenever it comes to crowdfunding or premiering something, a big announcement, whatever it may be. And when I say a live event, this could be both in person as well as digitally, right? And oftentimes it's easier to have it be digital. But before I fully get into why I think this and how it can benefit you, allow me to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you get all the various lessons and episodes that I put out right when I put them out. Thank you if you just did, and thank you if you already were. It truly does mean a lot to me, as I hope it does to you. So, let's get into this, right? So, the two contexts under which I'm kind of thinking about this, but you can expand it to more, and in fact, I would love for you to share different scenarios that you can come up with after listening to all this. So share those down in the comments section or hit me up on social media, and let's essentially curate this brainstorm list. But for me, it's in the context of doing a premiere for a project, or we call it a launch, right? A launch, or a fundraiser, right? A crowdfund. So, and the reason why I like this, number one, is it makes it exciting, right, for the people involved. And number two, it gets the word out. And that, in essence, really is one of the primary aspects of this, is just getting the word out, right? So, last year, I had created a proof of concept that I wanted people to take notice of and be out there. You know, I could have gone the film festival route if I wanted to, but it was more important to me because the short film itself wasn't the end goal. It was more about it being a proof of concept for a much bigger project. And so that's why for me, I was okay with putting it out on the internet and not doing film festivals, you know, for the short film. And as part of that, I want to do a virtual premiere, right? This was peak COVID still, you know, whatever that may mean to you. But essentially, we had finished the project and, you know, we didn't have a venue to screen it in. And, you know, it's a short film. It's 4 minutes long, literally. And I wanted people to have the comfort of their own homes and plus be able to reach people beyond just LA and so forth. So what we decided to do was to put on a virtual premiere. And much like any sort of premiere, you know, there'd be a little bit of an introduction. Then we screened the film, and then we did a Q&A after, right? And so the whole thing ended up being about an hour long. And again, it just brought a lot of excitement for everyone involved because they got a chance to see it. And the people that, you know, weren't involved, they had a chance to see the work of everybody else. And, you know, there's a live chat. So unlike, you know, an in-person event, you know, where you kind of have to stay quiet because you want to make sure that whoever's talking is heard, this is nice because you have that secondary experience of the chat, and you can be chatting with people there and, you know, so forth, right? And that was a great way to honor that movie, get it out there, and propel it in the direction that I was hoping for, right? Then what I didn't do, but now in thinking about it, what I will do moving forward for any crowdfunding campaign that I do is to do a kickoff live stream and then a final, like, let's say 12 hours live stream. And it serves both purposes, right? To get people excited and to spread the word. And, you know, especially kind of like towards the end, you know, can a crowdfund be successful without this component? Absolutely. all these things can, right? However, to me, it just when you have a direct interaction with somebody, even if it is virtual, there's just something about it that allows for somebody to be like, you know what? Yeah, I can ask the questions that I want. I can see kind of what the mission statement of all of this is beyond just like a 2 to 3 minute video that you see on these crowdfund campaigns. You see it much more naturalistic because, generally not everything in that sort of event is pre-produced. And so it's like, okay, cool, I'm going to do this. And plus, there's that shared experience of multiple people coming together at the same time to do this, as opposed to it feeling nebulous and as a singular one-off event. You feel part of the group, right? And so that, for you as the person that's putting this on, is a huge benefit, right? And the reason why, moving forward, I consider the kickoff event and the final event is because, number one, the kickoff event, it jumpstarts it, right? It announces to them, and then it spreads from there of like, okay, this is a thing. So, now I'm aware of it, right? Essentially the first time you're kind of, yes, you want as much as you can in terms of funding, but you can really, it's more about the awareness, right? And then the last part, once people see that something is close, or hopefully close, to completion, right, in terms of this crowdfund, the objective of that being meeting this goal, whatever it may be, then, again, it just people feel kind of part of the moment, and something greater than themselves is like, okay, you know what, they're very close to their, campaign goal, so boom, I'll give $10, $15, $30, $50, whatever it may be, right? And it also allows you, if you meet that goal, then, can you go beyond that? And can you highlight through that, like, hey, we've reached, 30,000 goals for this movie that we want to make, but if we get it up to 32, then we can do this one scene that we've been meaning to film in exactly how we mean to film it, no shortcuts, boom, and you can kind of go from there. So never underestimate a good quote-unquote live event. And as I said, that could be both in person as well as, virtual. And as I said, it doesn't have to just be for the things that I mentioned. It could be for a book launch. It could be, I've seen it. There's friends that I know that are creating board games, right? And launching that. And so it's just, as I said, it creates an excitement and raises awareness because of bringing people together, right? And so for those reasons, that's why, consider doing some sort of live event around whatever it is, and it just helps. Plus, like, you then have whatever footage of that, even if it's just webcam footage, recorded over Zoom, you have that as promotional material that you can, repurpose as well. So it serves a ton of purposes and is a benefit to you. So, just wanted to put that in your head and start having you consider, because, it's something for me when I did the crowdfund for my second feature film. I guess I kind of overlooked it, right? I mean, I literally didn't do it, and maybe it was, I can make excuses that I was busy and so forth. And we accomplished what we needed to, right? So it's not like we failed, but maybe the road to completion would have been a little bit easier by having done this, right? So, that's one of the only reasons I travel to the past, so to speak, is to learn from it instead of berating myself. So, how can I learn moving forward that can be a benefit? And this can be a benefit to me and, of course, you. So I hope this does help. Thank you as always. If you have any thoughts or questions beyond the prompt that I gave you, comment down below or hit me up on social media at Svitek. Likewise, if you appreciate what I do, I have coaching options available to you. If that is too steep of a price at the moment, well, then of course there's my Patreon page where through the various tiers allows you for direct interaction with me. Likewise, if you just appreciate what I do and want to support the things that I create, whether books, movies, merchandise, and so forth, well, that is linked to in the description box for your benefit as well. Supporting that stuff helps support this because by getting to continue to create the art that I do, I learn various lessons and can share them here freely with you, so you may benefit, right? It's just a very symbiotic relationship. Thank you as always. I appreciate you and hope to see you next time.